We have breaking news out of H&W Welders this evening, and manager Aussie Villain is about to address the press outside of a Belfast hospital. Yeah, look, unfortunately, it's not good news. Earlier today, Anthony Armstrong was stretchered off the field while playing for the Northern Irish under-21s, and we've just had it confirmed that he's broken his ankle. Now, I'm annoyed. In fact, I'm furious. And if I find out who injured him, then I'll destroy their career. But right now, the important thing is Anthony, and making sure we get him fit and firing again for the Welders. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to Season 10, Episode 6 here at H&W Welders on The Impossible Dream. And today a slight change to what we were planning on doing just due to some fixture rearrangements. It's going to be Ballinamallard first up in the league and then Slavia Sofia in the Europa Conference League group stage. Unfortunately, the Linfield game got pushed back a little bit later in the season. So that's kind of where we had to come back. Otherwise, it was going to be a massive gap between episodes, a little bit too big. Now, as you've heard, Anthony Armstrong, broken ankle, 2 to 4 months. It happened with Northern Ireland. I mean, what can you do? There's nothing we can do about it. It's happened. And hopefully he will come back fit firing or closer to the 2 months than the 4 months. But yeah, for right now, we are going to be without what is undoubtedly our best, well, attribute-wise anyway, our best player in the team. So a massive shame. But what's done is done, and we will have to do our very best to get by without him and still hopefully maintain a bit of a title challenge as well. So that's the bad news. Now, we do have a little bit to catch you up on since last episode. I think there's 5 games in total amongst our league, cups, Europe, shields, everything. So let's start with a league game against Coleraine. We went in front when Fitzpatrick played in McDade. Coleraine pulled level just before half-time. But we restored our lead immediately when Armstrong picked out Fitzpatrick's run. McDade extended our lead before Armstrong sealed the points. So a comfortable win. I'd say we were really good without being great in this one. I think the goals kind of were the high points. We weren't brilliant throughout the game like that. Armstrong, though, such a shame. He played really well in this one. And yeah, just generally speaking, we play, as I said, we played well without being sensational, perhaps. Next up, if I can read my own writing, it is it's the County Antrim Shield quarterfinal. We played Glentoran. We didn't take it particularly seriously, so let's see how we did. We took the lead when Fitzpatrick's cross found its way to Rory King. And we're 2-0 up when LM won possession and finished calmly. But Glentoran pulled one back in first half stoppage time before we sealed the tie when Al Amin picked out Kieran Sheedy. So Al Amin was the unlikely star of this one, played really, really well. McGreevy started his comeback from his injury. Didn't do quite so well. And Sheedy, we get lesser spotted these days. He is an academy player, good finishing. We know that about him. And, well, he took a chance well, didn't he? Which was good to see. Next up, it was back in the Caramel Wafer Cup. We had Airdrie in the next round. So let's go see how that went. McQuaid picked out Rory King, whose touch and finish was superb to give us the lead. Airdrie pulled level after half-time. But Rory King produced another great finish to restore our lead before Kyle Fisher sealed the tie. So there we go, we did get through to the next round. Now, we did play a relatively strong side in this one. The reason being, this was just the first game after Armstrong's injury on the international break, obviously. And I wanted to try and see if, how we cope, I guess, without him being in the team. So we did put Napoleon back up to the number 10 with McQuaid as the deep line playmaker, McGreevy as the box-to-box, and then obviously wingers you can sort of insert, whatever of the 4 we have. And it, generally speaking, looked quite good. So that's a positive. It looks as though we will be able to get by without Armstrong. Obviously, we'll be weaker, but maybe not too badly affected by it. So yeah, that was good news. Now, for our fourth competition to catch you up on in 4 games, it was Slavia Sofia. We had to go away from home for this one. Let's see if we can keep our wonderful European form going. Al Amin picked out Davidson's run to give us a first half lead. But Slavia took a point with a stunning strike. So this was a really, really strange game. You can see we were essentially dominating it till they scored. And it just knocked us over. We never recovered from that strike, and you can see the rest of the game was relatively even. So, yeah, drop points in Europe. I mean, the good news, I suppose, if there is good news, that it's away from home, so we haven't dropped points at home. It was more of a rotated side, as you can see there. So, again, it's not as though our first choice, strongest team, this happened to them, but just a really, really strange game. Absolutely knocked off our feet we were by that goal. Final game to catch you up on. We're back in the league against Carrick Rangers. Let's see how we did. We fell behind midway through the second half. We were quickly levelled through McDade. And substitute Diora gave us the 3 points. So this was another really, really strange game in that they didn't really create anything, but, they arguably could have beaten us. But we did change up once they scored, because you can see we were creating chances all the way through the game. It just wasn't going for us. So we went with 2 up top, got rid of the wingers, played with wingbacks. And Al Amin again off the bench, and Diora as well. They turned the game. We were comfortably the better side, and in the end, it was a good thing we got that winning goal, because, well, you can see from the XG tracker, it would have been a bit of a crime if we hadn't got the 3 points. And, of course, 3 points that we can't really afford to drop, given, the title race that we appear to be in. So there's the league table. We are joint top. Linfield did drop points. They lost to Glentoran, as you can see there, away from home. So that's good. We've got goal difference over them. So Glentoran are right there as well, though, having played a game more. So it is a bit of a title race. Larne and Dungannon aren't too far back either. So, yeah, that's all looking good. The Europa Conference League, Rosenborg, they did win their game while we were drawing. So, just a point difference there. And Slavia Sofia with 4 points. You'd like to think we could beat them at home, and we'll get the chance to do that, obviously. And the County Antrim Shield, you can see, having beaten Glentoran, we face Larne. And again, we're not going to be taking it too seriously. And the Tunnocks Caramel Wafer Cup, it's at home to Inverness. So that's, I would imagine, one of the tougher games we could have got, certainly among Scottish teams. They're a championship club there. So that is, going to be, again, another interesting test. We've played a League 2, a League 1, and now we'll play a Championship Scottish side in the quarterfinals, I think that's going to be. But let's have a look and see what we're doing here against Ballinamallard. They're not a bad team this year. They're up there in 7th, but we should be able to beat them, shouldn't we? The 4-4-2 formation from them. Looks like they got 2 deep liers, and of course Glenn Murray, who we got rid of this past summer, playing for them as well. And this is a team we're going with. We're just changing it up a little bit. I'm maybe a little bit concerned that with playing wingers all the time, we're getting a bit predictable. So Jidda in goal, Corker, Martin and Freddie Simpson as the back 3. Pearson and McCullough will provide the width. It's Chambers and Al Amin in midfield. Let's hope he continues his recent good form. Mr. X-Ray Vision, Sean Simpson in behind Cargbo and Davidson. It's, it's a strong team. We want to win in the league more so than in Europe. Let's hope we get the job done here. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. Murray is indeed in their starting lineup, so that is hopefully not going to come back and haunt us. Let's just go out there and relax, please, boys. We'll point our finger so we have faith in to make a difference. Jimmy Pearson's looking nervous, which isn't ideal given he's our only real outlet down the right. And while we're waiting for the game to get underway, maybe a quick mention for Brendan Davidson, who got called back up into the senior Northern Irish squad. So that's the first time we've had a player called into that, the senior Northern Irish squad. So well done to him. Corker with a header, and that just drifts softly into the goalkeeper's hands. Now, that was almost certainly not the highlight. And what's going to become of this? Pearson's back there. Hopefully not looking too nervous now. Corker. McCullough is getting into a decent area. It's just a little bit too slow, isn't it? There's a ball forward. Can Cargbo get to that? He can. Looking for Davidson. Can't find him. Pearson should pick that up. Back to Simpson. Forward there to other Simpson. Simpson to Simpson. Back to Simpson. There's a ball for Cargbo. Hamzat Cargbo. Oh, back in the first team, but not quite back in the goals just yet. Pearson's cross is blocked. This is the long old scrappy highlight, and is that the sucker punch? No, thankfully not. Let's encourage them. and see what we can do. We've got some defending to do here from a free kick. It is away. Al Amin has it. Forward for Mr. X-Ray Vision. And can we get them on the break? Davidson's in a good position. Can we spring him in behind? Not quite yet. Here we go with Pearson in space. Cargbo's getting forward. He goes towards Davidson. Davidson's header is just over. And it wasn't touched by the goalkeeper, so goal kick. We've got a corner. LM in to take. Where's Cargbo? It's away. Fred Simpson will pick it up. To Sean Simpson. Back to Simpson. Simpson to Simpson. Back to Simpson. Martin. Chambers. To Simpson. Freddie Simpson. Chambers. Stewart. Back to Chambers. There's a good ball for Davidson. Can he pull it back for Cargbo? Davidson. Oh, it's a brutal challenge. I think he probably won the ball, but it was brutal. And Davidson will take the penalty. I don't think I've seen him take a penalty. Usually we're looking at McDade, but of course he is being rested for Europe just now. Davidson cuts away the penalty, and it's 1-0. It's his 14th of the season. And, well, he's having a very, very good time of things, isn't he? Maybe took him a little bit of last season to settle in after his move from Glentoran, but, well, he's settled now, and he is looking very, very good in front of goal indeed. Glentoran were briefly top there, it looks like, but both ourselves and Linfield have taken the lead in our games, so that is everything changed back around. Linfield are now 2 up, as you can see there. Let's give it a demand more coming into the break, perhaps. Jim Pearson apprehensive. What is going on with you, man? So just a penalty. Let's say don't get complacent. We've got a couple of the motivated players. Let's see if we can pump our fists and get them back on board. Not so far. Bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? Well, so it's just Pearson and Corker that are looking demotivated. So we'll keep an eye on them. Billy Gribben could come on for Corker, and then Pearson, it would be a case of Lewis Hill, who is, of course, the young right back that ideally we don't want to use. I don't know why I don't have Hall on the bench. Oh, there's a missed header. Cargbo's in. Can Cargbo get himself? No, it's a good block. Still there, though, for Hamzard. Can he pull it back? It's a decent cross in, but again, it's headed away. And that'll do it for the highlight. Let's give them some praise. We're looking confused and uninspired, and all the things you don't want to look at the back. Alamin. Decent again. Oh, and it's Tommy Martin with a third of the season. He is proving to be a bit of a weapon from a corner. 3 goals, and we're what? We're sort of in October-ish, aren't we? Not bad for a centre-back. And that's a good header, isn't it? Just tucked inside the near post. And that is 2-0. We'll give them some praise, and, well, hopefully we'll just see this out comfortably now. But never usually works like that, does it? Pearson with a throw. It's there for Alamin. Ball in. Davidson. Oh, it's off the crossbar and cleared away. Alamin, I don't know if it's a case of him just needing that time to settle into the club, and it's just a bit of a coincidence that it's at the same time we've moved him into the box-to-box role, or if it is just the fact he's now playing box-to-box. Absolute revelation. He's arguably been our best player since last episode. That's not the best defending from a free kick. That's surely offside. It is. Yeah, there's a lot of times, I mean, we saw that's how Slavia Sofia scored against us. Players like this on the edge of the area, but I don't know there's too much we can do. I mean, we had players out there. I mean, you can't mark everybody, can you? And I do think the bigger threat is probably the ball into the box. But yeah, I mean, we've been doing a lot of work on defending free kicks and set pieces and corners and all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, it doesn't seem to matter. We're still struggling a little bit. But there we go. It's 2-0. A good, comfortable win in the league. Ideally, you'd like a little bit more for goal difference. But let's just say, well done, boys. Good win, that one. And I tell you what, those match ratings second half, they went up, didn't they? So we can see the other results there. Linfield comfortably beat Crusaders. Glentoran and Dungannon drew. So Dungannon, I mean, that defeat to them is looking less and less embarrassing by the day, isn't it? And Larne got a comfortable win over 9-men Cliftonville. But Murray suffers defeat against former team. Martin on form, a 97% pass completion rate. That is not bad from a centre-back at all, is it? Well done on your passing, amongst other things. And the new Sierra Leone manager was looking at Cargbo as well. Guys, right there, we'll be hosting Sofia next. And hopefully we'll get the 3 points this time. Okay, welcome back. We're ready for some European action. Now, we have a Tuesday game in the Europa Conference League, which is strange. I'm assuming Linfield and or Larne must need to stay Winter Park as well. So that's probably why we're playing on a Tuesday. But here we go. We're expecting a 4-2-3-1. This is more or less how they played against us in the game at their place. And this is a team we're sending out. It's a strong team. And the reason for this is I'm kind of working backwards from the Linfield game. And this is the team, again, more or less, in injuries permitting, that we want to play against Linfield. So it's Jidda in goal. It's McCullough, it's Gribben, it's Simpson and Hill. That's Roy Hill as the back four. It's McQuaid and McGreevy in midfield. McGreevy is a Mazzella. We're just trialing something different with him. Masson, Napoleon, and Fisher in behind McDade. And, well, let's get out there. Okay, so it looks as though for the away leg, they're going with a 4-4-1-1. So a slight difference. I mean, it shouldn't matter. If we play well, we'll just keep saying there's no pressure on us. If we play well, then we should be able to beat this mob without too much problems. And like I say, in that first game, we were absolutely dominating, and then they got their goal, and we just fell flat. So, yeah, hopefully we'll get the early, or hopefully we won't concede the early goal, and or we'll be good in the world. But we've got some defending to do here early. It is headed away. Is McDade going to get to that? I think no. Oh, Masson has read it like a book, and he's in. Does Ray Masson have his scoring boots on today? No. So it didn't end up in the stands. So he's he's shown a little bit of progress, but almost a perfect start. Hill with the throw for Napoleon. Back to Hill. Can he pick out McDade in the middle? Cross goes in. Back post to Fisher. And Kyle Fisher. How many times have we seen it? A 9th goal of the season for him. In off the post. And a minute and a half into the game, and we're 1-0 up. And let's hope we can really go and rub their noses in it after they took a point off us at their place in Bulgaria. Good ball in. And Fisher, he's good in the air, isn't he? And he's just, as I've said last episode, he's someone that could feature for us for a while. Just because physically he's so good, and the rest of his game, you know, is not the worst either. So he could be around for a while. Napoleon with a corner, and that I thought was going in, but McGreevy just over the bar. 15 minutes gone. Let's give them some more praise and hope we can get a second goal. This is kind of how the first game went. There was more highlights for us. And then they got the goal, and that was kind of it. But if we can get a second goal, protect ourselves from that, then yeah, I would fancy us to maybe go on and rack up a few here. McDade, that looked a decent ball for him, but couldn't quite get onto it. And here come the Bulgarians, putting big pressure on them there, and Masson picks up a loose pass. Simpson, across for Gribben, forward for McQuaid. Napoleon. Fisher, he's got the overlapping run there. He goes himself. Fisher has a go. Maybe not what we needed in that situation. Let's give it a demand more. See if we can push ourselves onto another level here. Come on, we need a second goal. And Napoleon with a chance to deliver it for us. Good ball in. Fisher again. And Kyle Fisher, number 10, on a hat-trick now as well. And that's 2-0. And that should be enough to see this team off. They can belt one in from 30 yards, but I don't think they can do it twice. We'll give them some praise. And let's see. They're going to prove me wrong, aren't they? Here we go. Napoleon putting some pressure on. Ball forward. Easy for Gribben. It's picked up, though. McGreevy doing the pressing. Again, it's Gribben. This time his header does find McGreevy. And we string forward again. Masson, can he beat his man? Of course he can. Can he pull it back? It's a good ball. McDade is there. He's not missing that. It's number 14 of the season now for Aaron McDade. It's 3-0. And, well, we've got goals in the team this year, don't we? McDade and Davidson are leading the line superbly. We've seen Fisher chipping in, Fitzpatrick, King. Masson's got a couple as well. Napoleon, of course, can whack in the free kicks from seemingly anywhere. And you do wonder a little bit where this season might end for us. How far can we go in Europe? Can we topple Linfield in the league? Or to come, of course. Later this season. Let's say don't get complacent. But hang on, let's do an individual talk here for Napoleon. Arms wide open. My boys. Excellent stuff. And now we'll just get back to normal team talks. Nobody else was demotivated, was they? And there we go. Is there anybody we want to rest? Is there anybody on the bench we want to give game time to? I wouldn't mind giving some game time to Akesian. He came through our academy. There is a lot of 8s and 9s in those attributes, and I'd like to try and give him as much game time as we can to push him on. And I'm thinking McGreevy not having the greatest game of his life, we might make that change and get a Kezian on. There's nobody else there that I particularly wanted to give game time to. This was mostly just a little bit of I wanted a strong bench just in case they prove to be a very good team. But I think we've seen here that we'll look back thinking we should have beaten them in Bulgaria, which we didn't do, obviously, and that is just wide. Let's say that Jitter had it covered. Napoleon's looking tired, but I think we might just have to ask him to suck it up for us because we're getting towards the end of the game. And it's comfortable. In the end, it was comfortable. Can we get another goal? It doesn't look like we can, and that'll do it. 3-0. So a little bit of revenge for the the draw in Bulgaria. Again, we'll say well done. It wasn't fantastic, but it was good enough. Brushed aside, I think is probably the term, isn't it? We weren't at our devastating best that we saw last episode in Russia, but we weren't too bad at all. Kyle Fisher, I mean, he's still improving as well. He's only 20, and he could be anything for us, couldn't he? Where did we get him from? He was from Wales, Cardiff Met Uni. He's the new Bus and Brew, who we got from Cardiff Met Uni at Bala Town, wasn't it? But there we go. That will do it for today. If you've enjoyed that, hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. We have officially qualified out of the group. We will be having European football after Christmas. And we just more or less need, if we beat Rosenborg, then that will be top of the group secured. And you can't see Arsenal Tallulah doing too much to worry us, can you? So next time we will be back for those two massive games. It'll be Lingfield in the league, where, I mean, it's at home. We just need to avoid defeat, don't we? Make sure they don't go ahead of us. And then we will be off to Norway to face Rosenborg in a game that if we win, even if we draw, it'll more or less be official. But if we win that game, we will officially have topped the group. And let's not forget, get a bye into the second knockout round of the competition as well. So until next time, guys, I've been Aussie Bell, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.